Hey everyone, this is Corine Lafont, your favorite radio host, your
Hello, can
only
you hear
radio
me? I
host.
can see
I
you, but
am
I can't
hearing,
hear you at all.
oh my God, I am doing my wonderful
Hello,
introduction.
hello.
Oh my
So glad to
God,
see you. I think you can
you're
hear
not
me,
here? I am hearing
but I
you, but you
cannot hear
can't hear?
you. Yeah, hold
Oh
on, let me
my
see. Yeah, it
word.
looks like my audio is working. Okay.
Are you hearing me
Like
now?
there's no echo, so good there. But let me just let me
You are
check
not
one
hearing
thing.
me.
Hold
I
on
am.
1 second. Let me just check something on my end to see if that'll
This is not
fix
how the show is supposed to
it.
start. I am
Let's
doing my
see.
lovely introductions, and here is Davina interrupting me with her no audio. What is
Uh,
going on?
1 sec.
This, this is what. Are you hearing me now?
Okay, now I think
I
we're good.
I think I'm hearing my voice coming through.
Yeah, I can hear you now. We're all good. I knew we would get it together.
Listen to me. I'm now telling the audience. I am doing my lovely introductions, and here is Davina interrupting me from doing my
Interrupting
lovely.
you! Man, sometimes you just gotta roll with the punches.
And look good while you're doing it. Be a
Here
diva.
we
Be
go.
a
Every
diva.
time.
So
Every
let me
time.
start over. Let me start over. So this is Corine Lafont, your favorite radio host, your only radio host, and favorite girl, of course, broadcasting to you from the lovely island of Trinidad and Tobago in the Caribbean on Between the Lines. And you know how we do it here on Between the Lines. Always, always with gratitude, always with thankfulness. I am so thankful that we are challenged today by technology. I am so thankful. I am so thankful that I'm alive, that technology can challenge me. I'm so thankful that
Yeah.
I was able to overcome together with Davina, relentless, resilient, that we overcame the challenge, that we are still here and we both together in unison made an agreement, a covenant that don't matter what happens, we are moving forward. We're not looking
Moving
back.
forward.
We're
Yes.
going forward.
No matter
Don't
what.
matter what.
Oh my
We
goodness.
are moving forward. We are not looking back and turning to a pillar of salt, people. Don't matter
Hey.
what, we're going forward. Davina Ware, welcome to Between the Lines.
Hello. So glad to be here. I love talking to you, but I mean, you said the key thing. I feel like we have gone through the wilderness, that we have been in the woods and the valleys, and that we finally made it to the mountaintop. But what matters is that we keep going. I've heard people say that distractions determine destiny. So here we are. Just
Oh, yes. And we're looking fly. We're
that's all
looking
that matters.
fly.
That's all that matters. Yes. Yes.
Oh my God. And this is a great way to start the discussion about, are we ready for change? Are you who will be listening, who's listening now, who will be listening, are you ready for change?
Hmm.
Look at how this thing started. We are actually 33 minutes behind the scheduled time.
Yep.
33 minutes, and we could have said, let's reschedule. No, we're not doing that. We're still pushing forward. And I see the internet now is giving us some challenges. So we kind of froze there for a minute, but hello, we're flat. We're flat. And
We're
so we're
glad
going.
we're here. We working it out.
We're working it out. So
Yes.
are we ready for change? And let me tell you a bit about Davina. If the internet can give me a minute, let me see if I can tell you a bit about her. So she's a career transition coach, marketing professional, and founder of Upwardly Paved Career Path Coaching. You're going to see her website a little later down. She helps people get out of their own way to transition into their ideal careers that utilize their gifts and talents. Through the latest career transition principles, personal growth, and spiritual development, she leads her clients to find fulfillment in their next career move. She is no stranger to career transitions as she has worked in nonprofit and corporate environments and within the education, telecommunications, marketing, and healthcare fields. Throughout her 14 years in the workforce, Davina has learned about the key things that hiring managers value in prospective candidates and what makes a successful employee in any field. She takes a holistic approach to career coaching and resume writing services to help her clients by offering personal and spiritual development. If you check her website, you will see that spiritual development there to support career success. Her strategy is to motivate towards clarity, encourage overall growth, and combine her marketing expertise to the job search process. She is certified with the International Coaching Federation. She holds an MBA in Integrated Marketing Communications from Roosevelt University and a bachelor's in Marketing Communications from Columbia College, Chicago. She is a devout Christian. Check that website, people, who makes Christ the foundation of her life and the foundation of mine. On her spare time, if she has any, she enjoys serving in her church, training with her running group. Oh my gosh, I need to do that. Attending concerts, well, we have none here right now, reading and spending time with loved ones. Welcome officially again to Between the Lines, Davina. Let's get this going.
Yes,
Oh my
let's get this
God.
going. I'm so excited.
Are we ready for change? Are you ready for change? Let's talk about that word change.
Mhm.
Change and readiness. Change is something that most people are uncomfortable with.
Oh yeah.
The whole irony about that is that I'm going to take this slowly because I want people to process what I'm saying. Change is such an ironic thing because before you got comfortable with what you're doing now, you were one time uncomfortable with it. You were at one point uncomfortable with it and you managed to get through that and you've gotten comfortable. And so now to do something that's new or fresh or unknown to you, it's uncomfortable and you're afraid of doing it. And then you question your readiness, not thinking back. I did something like this before, or I did something worse, or I did something more challenging before. I got over that. So, what is my problem trying to go into this new thing? So, help us out here with that process, Davina, the readiness and the whole aspect of change, because we're in a pandemic and a lot of people were not ready for a pandemic. Some of us were not even born when past pandemics took place. So this is our first experience of it, which includes me. And I mean, my life, people ask me, how am I dealing with the pandemic? And I'm like, it's fine. This has been my life all the time. I live online. I live an isolated life. I don't touch things all over. So this is the only thing I wasn't doing was wearing a mask all my life,
Right.
you know. So I mean, this is nothing new, but it seemed to be something major for everyone else. And I'm like, what's the problem? What's the problem? Yes, your social life, the drinking, the partying, and all those things, sitting in a restaurant and enjoying life and spending the money that you
Yep.
never really had in the first place, you
Mhm.
know, you're not able to do that. But what is the problem? So we're in a pandemic and we were forced to change whether we wanted it or not. And is it that when we ask the question, are we ready for change? Do we have to be like all ducks in a row to be ready? Or do we have to be catapulted into it? Like something need to force us into it, like the pandemic, where we don't have a choice. I'm saying a lot of stuff and I know you're processing it. So I pass it on to you now.
Couple things to address this. One is we were talking about it took us 33 minutes, right, for us to get started on this broadcast. But as soon as you said that, I smiled because that's the age that Jesus was when his ministry really took off. And I believe that
Oh
younger.
my God.
Yeah.
No. Hold on. Hold on. I need to come back. No. What? Did you have to make that connection, Davina?
And
Did
it came to
you?
me immediately, and I was like, okay, so he's in this. Got it. Because at one point I was like, Jesus, what? What do you want? What you need from me? We showed up on time. We did our part. What happened? And so you saying that and the fact that we got started at that time let me know that he was in it. And so when it comes to change, that's we need to be mindful of that. Is that a lot of us who have goals, right? Who can be a bit of a perfectionist, we might say, okay, I want this to happen by this time, and then in 6 months, I'm going to achieve that. And I'm saying this is that kind of person. But there are things that will happen that are out of your control. And I think that's the
Yeah.
biggest thing, right, that we got from being in this pandemic. This was
Mm-hmm.
completely out of our control.
Yeah.
Everyone had to pivot, literally everyone. And I
Mm-hmm.
feel bad for the extroverts. I'm an extroverted introvert.
Introvert.
So, and then too, here it was cold in Chicago. I was like, oh, I don't have to go outside in this. Cool. But I still had to adjust, right,
Yeah.
to life. And I had to confront things that maybe I didn't have to before. So when
Mm-hmm.
it comes to change and answering your question on whether we should approach it and like be prepared for it or roll with the
Mm-hmm.
punches. I think it's a bit of both. I think that yes, we've heard that term. We have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But also, I think we need to think of change as something that is always going to happen
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
be open to the life shifts. When I'm talking to
Mm-hmm.
people or talking to my clients, especially about change, I always mention nature. What
Hmm.
in nature has been the same from 20 years ago?
Oh my God.
Has there been a flower that that's been in your yard that's the same
Yeah.
flower, like it sprang up
Yeah.
20 years ago and it didn't move, it didn't grow, it didn't shift? No.
Wow.
So just as the sun and the moon rises and sets every day, then we had to expect that there will be some change that
Mm-hmm.
is out of our control, and it just behooves us because we're part of nature, we're natural creatures.
Mm-hmm.
It just
Mm-hmm.
behooves us to move forward with that change as well, because the more we try to stay the same, then you get ripped out of somewhere instead of you walking into that change. And when we think about anything that's being ripped, right, it's a snatching that happens, it leaves wounds, it's more painful, right? There's deeper gaps that have to be filled in when you've been ripped from something, as
Wow.
opposed to you going with emotion. So I actually did a YouTube video, like, I don't know, month two of the pandemic, about how I'm embracing the quarantine and why you
Mm-hmm.
should. And the reason, like I said, at first, it was beautiful, okay? Because I'm
Mm-hmm.
not a morning person. I am working on it. I promise you, though. I'm working on it, being a morning person. But it just was easier for me. But there were some other changes I had to readjust my schedule, right? Because when we work from home, you end up working more. You end up working
Yeah.
longer hours, all the things, right? And I had to set some boundaries with myself so that I still had like off time, even though I
Yeah.
was still at home or
Mm-hmm.
where I was doing my work. Not in my living room, in my comfy couch with my TV and my ottoman with my feet up. It's not at my dining room table. I got a whole office, and for a good 6 months, I never came in here. And I'm like, okay, work is for work. That's what I need to be doing. So I had to like readjust some things. So even
Mm-hmm.
as we're opening up more for now, because I
Mm-hmm.
can change,
Yeah.
these are things that I have to take with me of this separation, so that you don't become this workaholic to where the lines are blurred between when you need some rest, when you need boundaries, and
Mm-hmm.
personal time, and then with banging things out with work. So that's one of the changes that, again, that we were forced into this change, but we can walk in it and make it work for us, as opposed to letting it beat up on us, because
Yeah.
I've seen that happen too. Yeah.
I love how you made the connection with nature because I do the same. I look at nature for advice. Yes, for answers. And the answers are there. When you were talking, I remember I went back to looking at the moon last night. And the moon was a different shape. It just went in a different direction. It was setting in a different place. It just, and I was like, look at you. You were positioned here. You were rounded the other night before. You were going down at a particular pace of a different direction. Now you're like a quarter moon, a little crescent, and now you're in a different direction. And I'm just looking, and you're absolutely right. If you saw a flower 20 years ago in the same place, same, I'm going to just mute you for a second. I'm getting a bit of feedback. In the same place, and you're like, this, you don't, it's not even allowing you to replant, because what is there to replant if everything that is there is still there? What's the point? So it's not even allowing you to grow, or you to see anything different. That would be boring. I mean, if you think of a world where everything just remains the same, it would be boring. But here's the thing, even bringing in the pandemic, and are we ready for change, and the changes you had to go through, because we all had to, even in terms of work and career, because that's part of what you do, work and career, that and all had to change, because people were laid off from their jobs. Some people are still laid off from their jobs. Their jobs had to change from a full-time to a shift, to remote work, to all sorts of things. Some people are now even thinking more so about having their own business, when this is something that was being pushed so many years ago. Again, do people need to have something to knock them in the head for them to realize, I need to do something? Why? You know, even when it comes to taking care of their health, exercising and stuff. I remember the initial thing with the pandemic in 2020. They even had videos on YouTube about people in their buildings just coming out on their balconies and exercising, and people walking on the road and stuff. And they were sharing it worldwide about getting your health. All of a sudden, your health is important. Do you think you could? Do you think you could really undo all the gook that you have put into your body and your lifestyle in one day or a few days? I'm like, what? And I'm not putting myself as a perfect person, because I do start and stop things. It's a human quality, procrastination, whatever people want to call it, timing, whatever it is. But we do start and stop. But it's a consciousness is what I'm coming to, Davina. A sort of consciousness and awareness that, hey, my life is stagnant. I need to be able to see ahead of time. Am I too comfortable in this? What am I feeling right now? Like I was going through something today, and I'm like, I started to question myself, and I'm like, Corine, sit with this. Sit with the feeling. It was not a comfortable feeling at all. Very painful. All sorts of emotions that I couldn't figure out. I felt like I was going mad. My mind is telling me things. My body is giving me other things. And I'm like, calm down, sit with this, and ask yourself, why are you feeling this way? What is triggering that? Ask myself. And all of this to me is part of the change. It starts with your mind telling yourself certain things to make you believe, and for your body to follow after the mind and just go with that. I jump in here, Davina. Unmute yourself. Let me see if I could unmute.
There we go. Oh goodness, yes. A couple things, right? People were, learning new ways to work out, myself included, because I was at the gym a lot. And my local gym, those people were like family to me. So it was really kind of a loss. Some of them I reached out to on Facebook Messenger to say, okay, I remember in the class we did X, Y, and Z. How can we keep that going?
That's
But
right.
it has to be a soul change.
Yeah.
It has to be at the soul level, because if we're just doing things just to pass the time,
Yeah.
and maybe physically we can make some of these changes, but if your soul is not willing to move with it, I don't want to say it's the wasted effort, but that's how you end up in cycles, and
Yeah.
especially cycles of stagnation. And I talk about that a lot, about being
Yeah.
in cycles of stagnation, especially when it comes to the career space, because that's where it affects us the most. When your
Mm-hmm.
career is not right,
Mm-hmm.
then your health isn't right, your
Yeah.
mind definitely isn't right. It's really the foundation of everything. Your
Yeah.
relationships aren't right. including a relationship with yourself, is a
Oh
wreck.
yeah. Yeah.
Career is a
Yeah.
stagnant place. And so I'm happy you mentioned the word stagnant. And the reason why I use it so often is to talk about or think about stagnant water, right? Just water that's been sitting somewhere, right,
Nasty.
for a long time. Right.
Nasty.
It
Nasty.
stinks. It smells. It's
Yeah.
there's no good. Like you can't use that water. You can't bathe with it. You can't drink it. You can't use it. And that's who we become
Yeah.
when we are in
Nasty.
places of stagnation, right? Unusable,
We're nasty.
unusable, right? Nasty. I'll let you
We're
have that one.
nasty. We're nasty. We're nasty. I want people to get a point. You're nasty.
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
nasty. You're not changing. You're not getting yourself prepared for change. You're not telling yourself you could do it even though your mind is telling you can't and your friends and family is telling you otherwise. Just do it. What is there to lose? Laugh at yourself. I think a lot of people are not willing to laugh at themselves. It's
I
amazing.
know. Yeah.
Just laugh at yourself. Even if you quote unquote fail, so what? So what? At
It's
least you
okay.
tried. At least you
Yeah.
tried. But even coming back in terms of the career, a lot of people are now thinking about having a business or planning to start one. I remember speaking to a guy and he said in 2022 he's going to start his business. I'm like, what is supposed to happen between now and 2022? So, is something special supposed to take place in 2022 that you will start? And he's like, he's preparing and gathering his information. And I'm like, why do you need, because you see, the way I approach things, Avina, I am not waiting for all the ducks to be in a row. I am learning as I'm going. I am learning as I'm going. I am going to, yes, collect information, talk to people who I think have the information and resources I need to guide me. But I am going ahead. I am going ahead. I'm planting things. I'm doing stuff. It may not repeat the kind of rewards yet, but at least it will start doing something. And while I make mistakes for that, I'm putting in something else in place. I'm learning as I go along. So by the time 2022 reaches, I'm good. I am already in business. You know what I'm saying? But there's some people who believe they have to have all the ducks in a row in order for things to happen. No, you don't. No, you don't. And don't make anybody tell you that pack of crap. Just go out and do it, start it. Even if you don't have everything, so what? Start with what you have. I don't know if you have any thoughts on that.
First of all, where are these ducks, right? That everybody wants on the road. Where are these ducks? I've not seen them. I don't know them. Okay. First of
Look
all,
outside, Davina. Look outside. Just take a
ducks.
peep out your window and see the duck.
But here's the thing about ducks, and I know quite a bit about them. Partially due to my sorority, right? But even the ducks move. Ducks shift and change. Even if you watch them as they're like flying right in a flock, and there's a leader at the point at the head. At some point,
Mm.
he gets tired. He goes to the back, and someone else comes up front. So the
He
ducks are
does?
always moving. Yeah,
He
the ducks are
does?
always moving. Ducks are always moving. So why are we trying to have these ducks in a row when they don't even do that? Number one. Number
So
two.
which ducks are they referring to when they say ducks in a row?
That's what
Which
I
ducks?
said. Who? Where?
Where,
Ducks.
where are the ducks?
Where are they? Where are they? Where? News to me. But oh my goodness, what are people doing? What are people saying? But honestly, that's a setup for failure. That is a
Yeah.
setup for perpetual procrastination. Like, oh, I'll get there. It's the dangling carrot. It will always be in front of you. It will never be
Yeah.
part of your life
Yeah.
today.
Yeah.
Never, 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 never. And what a
Yeah.
waste. You have to, and the other thing is, people don't realize that everything's a process,
That's right.
right? So even for those who want to start a business, you still should have your career in place first because it
Mm.
should be a natural progression.
Yeah.
People sometimes I feel like get into entrepreneurship because they're like, "Hey, my job." That is not the energy. That is not the foundation that you want to start a business on.
Yeah.
Your career needs to be in a place where it's investing in your next step. And when you have
That's right.
a good career and you have a beneficial one, it's shaping you up in the process. It's teaching
Mm-hmm.
you things that you'd be able to give to your
Mm-hmm.
clients or to produce within your products. But
Mm-hmm.
you need some stability there. So to your point, you're like, I just got to get started, right? One foot
Mm-hmm.
in front of the other. One of my
Mm-hmm.
famous sayings that I say probably every day is one toe at a time.
One toe at a
It's
time.
not a whole foot, it's a toe. It's a toe for you to move forward. But
It's a toe.
but there's so much that comes with
Yes.
entrepreneurship and being a business owner, and that includes maturity. So can you
Yes.
handle being humble at
Yes.
work when you really don't want to? Because if you don't, you'll start a business and be chasing people away with your attitude,
Mm. You
right?
know,
Or
you
you
said something. You said something about humble, and let's come back to readiness. Even with money, are you humble and ready enough to handle money? Because if you're not able to, you're going to lose the business. Because you might feel, oh, somebody paid me $100. I'm rich. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. No, you have to know how to spend that $100. So,
right, on
even in our
time,
life, yeah, even in even in our lives, we question, and I've done it too. As I tell you, I'm not perfect. These things happen to me, and I'm sure it happened to you. Where we're like, why isn't this happening to me? You watch your counterpart or your associate or your
oh,
friend or somebody, and you're like, there's nothing major difference between us. We're both black. We both grew up together. We went to the same school. We're the same age. We got married at the same time. We have children. What is it that that person is doing that I'm not, And you're like, why? And I just sit and pray about it. I don't know what your thoughts are on this, but you're like, am I, you might be struggling through things, and you're like, that person is sailing. What is happening? Why are they seeing so much success, and why did I go through this? You could say, okay, the decisions you made or I made in my life led me down this path, but why? Is it something you need to learn? Is it something that need to prepare you for something greater down the road? Why are you comparing yourself just to divest from other things too? Just why are you comparing yourself to somebody else? What is meant for you is meant for you. What is meant for that person is meant for that person. Jump in here, Davina.
the first thing I think, first of all, oh yeah, I'm getting a little feedback. But the first thing I think of is, yeah, I've been there, and I have wallowed many in days. And well, how come she is such and such, and I know what I got is better than that? Yep, I've been there. And first of all, when I heard myself, I was like, I sound like a 5-year old. So there's a maturity issue there. But secondly, is how dare I do that to God as if what he did for them, one, he can't do for me, and two, as if what he's doing for me is not enough. How dare I do that to him? That's rude. What an insult. And you can't
Yeah,
expect blessing with that kind of mindset. You
that's
can't
not
expect,
gratitude. That's powerful. That's powerful, Davina.
yeah,
That takes it away from you, because you start to get egotistic, and your ego is actually stepping beyond you and saying, what happened to me, you know when there's something greater than you outside of you. You are more than.
right.
That is so powerful. Yeah.
Yeah. And to also, the other thing I think of is I've just, when you be quiet and get out of your own head for a while, like if you just be quiet just for a minute, you'll start to recognize that the grass is not greener on the other side, or things are not as they seem. So we might sit and covet and wish we had what other people have, but then when you pay attention, you see that it's really just a facade, and there's no depth under it. And this is not for everyone, but it's been in my experience. People that I thought had it better than me, or I thought God was blessing more than me, because I was focused on the wrong thing. I couldn't see the real thing. And the real thing was like, it's messy over there. You doing just fine. Stay where you at. Stay in your own lane. Keep your eyes on your own grass, and focus on that. First of all, when you do that, you have something to do. So you don't have time or the energy to fill yourself with what other people are doing. You literally don't have time. Okay. And the other thing is, um, God will reveal things to you when you are going about his business and what he is telling you to do. And there have been all kinds of things that have been revealed to me, even about people who have done me wrong. I remember he said to me, I wasn't even thinking about this person at the time, but he said, she operates from a place of fear. I was like, oh, okay, got it. And then one, I wasn't even thinking about it, but two, it gave me the peace so that I wouldn't even have to wallow in it or ruminate on that situation anymore. So if you get busy about what you are supposed to be doing, not what you don't have, not the part of the race where you feel like people are ahead of you, but where you are and what you need to do to get to the next level, what you need to do to increase your endurance, what you need to do to be stronger, wiser, faster, whatever that is, then all these other things fall away and you literally don't care anymore. And I'm a person, I'm an empathic person, which
Yeah.
means that a friend has said to me before, you feel all day long? I was like, yeah, doesn't everybody? She was like, I couldn't go through my day if I felt all day long. But with that, right, becomes some challenges because that
Yeah.
means I feel what other people are feeling physically, right? Sometimes it's annoying. But when you're about your business, it also makes you keenly aware of what is really happening around you. Not what you can see, but what is really happening,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And you just get to the point where you're like, oh, I don't care. I don't have time to care. And there's just a release. And it
Yeah.
took so long for me to get here because I was in my, as my friend would say, my fifis, in my feelings.
And you
All
really.
the time. I'm busy. I have
Yeah.
stuff to do. So I literally, if it's not related to my health or my goodness or a mutually beneficial relationship, meaning like I'm pouring into you, you're pouring into me, and we're lifting each other up,
Yeah.
I don't have time to care. And then you just
And,
don't. And it's a
and
what
that
takes
is
it
a
off of you. You're like, oh, I don't know. Sure,
yeah.
what they're doing may seem better, but who knows? Who cares?
Who
It took
cares?
so many years to get there, and it's
Yeah.
a really great feeling.
And I am at that point, and I have been there for a while, and it is something that a lot of people don't understand when I really don't care. I'm like, who cares? I don't want to know. I'm not interested. Why are you sharing that with me? Because I'm so focused on what I have to do. Like you said, keep yourself focus on your own grass. Keep myself focused on God. I live in silence so I can hear what He has to say, which direction He wants me to go, what He needs me to do. Sometimes, even like the pandemic has allowed me to even be more quieter, which I love. I love the quiet. Some people don't understand, and some people are afraid of quiet because they hear the voices, the demons, the whatever come at them. I love the voices. I'm like, come at me, talk to me, let me hear you. Let's have a conversation. Yeah. And so it allowed me to go more within, understand who I am, my value, my worth, my self-esteem, what I want to do, or even it's not even what I want to do because lately I've been asking God, you know, I've been doing A, B, C, D. Is this where you really want me to do? I just let it go. I'm like, God, I don't know if this is where I really should be going. And so I just let it go. I'm like, I will do the bare minimum in the day, certain things I have to do, like things I really have to do. And then I will say, okay, I've done that. Now is your time. You need to tell me where you want me to go, what you want me to do. I have let it go. I say it's not my will, it's your will. And I think to me, that's the best way to surrender and accept change and be ready. The readiness comes from waving that white flag and say, I surrender, I give, I give up, I don't know. Because there are a lot of people, Davina, who are out there like on the rat race, the treadmill. They're out there doing stuff, doing stuff, doing stuff. And at the end of the day, they're like, um, where, yeah, yeah, you're muted. Yeah, you're like, what? You're like, what is going on? Where did my life go? What did I accomplish? What did I do? What was my value? What's my legacy? I don't want to be asking that. I
And
don't want
why
to be
am I
asking.
so tired that I can't even enjoy the fruits of my labor? How about that? You should want to come to you should want to arrive at your blessing
Yeah,
with energy,
yeah,
with happiness, with
that's right.
gratefulness, not like, okay, well, I made it here. Oh, good. Well, man, I'm too tired to do anything. It's like, right? Then your body done broke down on you. You can't even
Yeah,
enjoy it.
yeah,
Like, no, you should be
yeah.
arriving.
That's right. You should have so much gumption, drive, energy that you're ready. You're like, where is that? Where is that? Where is that? I'm ready. Where is it?
Who can I help? Who needs me right
Yeah,
now?
yeah,
What we gotta do?
yeah, 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 yeah. What we gonna do? Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Are we ready for change? The pandemic really did a number on a lot of us. Some of us didn't survive. Some
Hmm.
of us, we survived, but it's like you're wondering if they're surviving, you know?
They just
Some of us,
existing.
yeah, some of us give up and you're like waiting for the pandemic to go to do something. I've heard people say, well, after the pandemic, I'm like, when is that? When
Right,
is
you
that?
have no idea. So you're gonna miss out on what you were supposed to do. You're gonna miss out on using your gifts and talents. You're gonna miss out on all of these things for an unknown date.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. Well, they probably know better than us because they say when it ends. So I guess they must know something that I don't know and you don't know, but I don't know. But this is crazy. So readiness for change, surrendering. There are a lot of juicy tips being shared here. I want to switch over to, oh, I didn't even bring up your website and all the discussion. Did I bring up your website? Lord help me.
I think
No,
you mentioned it. You would mention it later.
yes, I did say that.
You
But
did.
hold on. Hold on. Because with all the excitement of us getting started, 33 minutes
I
later,
know. In Jesus' time.
that's right, in Jesus' time. I love it. In Jesus' time. Oh my God, that is the word for the day. In
Yes.
Jesus' time. In Jesus' time. I'm bringing it up here now. And I do think that you have a nice little giveaway here.
Yes.
Hold on. Let me see if I could share the screen. Why is the screen not wanting to share now? Oh my word. Hold on. Ooh. Here we go. 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 Are you seeing that?
Yes, I am. That's me.
Yes. Let me close out some stuff here so that we can see this properly. Right. So get the 90 days to quit checklist. Is that the giveaway here?
That is the giveaway because people don't know where to go, or once they have hit that point where they say, okay, I know my time has come to a close here. And that's
Yeah.
okay, right? But people don't know what to do after that, right? They just start spinning their wheels and they start doing things out of
Mm-hmm.
emotion, out of
Mm-hmm.
desperation,
Ah.
instead of strategically. So,
Mm-hmm.
anytime we are talking about provision, how we create provision for ourselves, there needs to be some strategy related to that, especially here in this career space. So, the sign up to get your free copy, right, of the 90 Days to Quit checklist so you know exactly what to do so that you have a plan. So it doesn't seem like you're in this endless cycle of being at this place, at this job that you hate, that is like murdering your soul. But there's
Yeah.
some light at the end of the tunnel. And you know, step one, step two, step three, where you're supposed to go and what you're supposed to do so that in a 90-day period, you can be in a new place.
I like how you said that. Matter in your soul. Yes, eh?
I
Matter in your soul.
don't
No,
know.
no, this is for more career, career changes and shifts. But when we talk about are you ready for change or are we ready for change? And you mentioned it in between the conversation earlier. It also aligns with relationships. And relationships is not
Yes.
only with your spouse, it's also with your children, your friends, your work colleagues, your family, any sort of human interaction or relationships.
Yes.
As well as even just in things that you're involved in. Like if you, like for me, I was involved with a volunteer organization, an international organization, and I just felt it was time
Yeah.
to let go. I've done my part, I've made my impact, and it's time for us to separate ways,
There you go.
and move on. I've evolved. They are still the same, but I have outgrown it, and I just need to. And it doesn't mean to say when I say I've evolved and outgrown it that I am better than the organization. It's just that it's not serving me and my soul, like you said, anymore. It's
Right.
just not. And I think that's the key. Is something serving your soul? Is it serving your soul? And if it's not, it's time to let it go.
It's time to
It's
let it
time to
go.
let it go.
And
Yeah,
that's
time to let
okay.
it go. Yeah, I wanna click out of this now that people know how to get there because it's a pop up on your screen. Is there anything else on your website that you would like persons to check out? Let's take a quick tour of your website.
Yes. And even if you missed the pop up, you can go to 90days to quit.com.
Okay, 90 days. Okay, 90days to quit.com. Uh-huh.
Yeah, if you missed the pop up. But yeah, on my
Okay.
website, lots of good goodies there. If you notice that the far right is prayer requests, so I'm an intercessor where I just stand in the gap for people, right? Um, and whatever they need. That's why I'm a person that feels all day long because I can get to
Yes.
know people, and so this is how I give back in that way. So prayer requests, yes, I'm taking them. You can fill it out there. Um, if you go back up, the other
Mm-hmm.
thing, well, one, there's a blog there, so I have a lot of good information. So I talk about career related stuff, but I also talk about personal development, right,
Mm-hmm.
and spiritual growth because wherever we go in the
Hmm.
next phase and the next stage, your whole self has to go. So it doesn't mean anything for you to have, the career transition tactics and acumen if
Mm-hmm.
spiritually you don't have the internal container to hold what's at the next place for you, or personally you don't have the maturity that's going to keep you at that place and at that level. So I think I got like 30 something blogs for people to check
Whoa.
out, right?
And you in Grenada. Look at you.
I love Grenada. Like I cannot wait to get back there. It was such a beautiful experience being
Oh
there,
my God.
honestly, being with people. I've never been somewhere where majority of the people look like me.
Are you serious? You need to come to the Caribbean. Oh
I
hell.
know. It was for real. It was life shifting. I was like, wow. And I mean,
My
it just felt
God.
like I was at home.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I love it. I love everything
You
about
know what you said there? You know what you said there is so significant. And if I am in a place that I feel like a minority, I mean a complete minority, like I'm the only one, it's like, okay then, where are all the people? But
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Hashtag life in America, where you're like, okay.
okay. No, you need to move to the Caribbean, girl. You will fit in so easily. Nobody's gonna take you on. You'll be like just like anybody else.
Uh,
That's
yes, please sign me up. Like they are my people. Okay,
right.
the Grenadian
And
people and just all the
I love it.
experiences. But
I love it. And you see
God
this
met me
girl?
in a special way there in Grenada. Grenada just has a special place in my heart. Um,
Lovely. I
yeah,
love this blog. I need to hear from God like now,
like now,
right
I'm
now.
in those places. I'm like, God, where is you at? I know I'm about to make a bad decision. Where are you? Like
Where are
today,
you? Where
right
you
now.
at?
Oh my God, right?
Yeah, it's like right now, like
Yes,
I mean
yes. But then
And
we have
this
some more
one,
practical stuff there too. Like, is your job pimping your gift?
keeping your gift,
I
right?
have felt that way. I have felt that way. I was like, they are out here pimping me, or it's
They're
like, am I tripping? Am I just being a brat, or are they really
yeah,
taking advantage of me? So as you can see, it's well rounded. We get a little bit of everything. Talk about
yeah.
anxiety, is confusion is a distraction, fit in
Option, yes.
there. Yeah, and the latest, I'm going to be putting up another one next week about what it means to be a boss, but there's an acronym to it, so be on the lookout for that. But this latest one is a big one, which is what career season are you in? Because there's
Yeah.
seasons to your career, and if you
Hmm.
start doing things that are outside of the season, then you'll stay stuck.
Oh,
Right?
damn.
Yeah, then you'll stay stuck somewhere. It's like if you are, in the sage season, and if you click on it, you'll see it. You can't be doing stuff that are the
Wow.
same if you're in the green season. The green season just basically means like you're new to whatever this is. Maybe you're, don't have a lot of work experience, or
Hmm.
maybe you're like transitioning to a different industry. You don't know a lot here. So how you
Wow.
move and how you operate in the green season is going to be very different than right here, like you just mentioned, the tipping point season. So you have to know what season
Wow.
you're in and how to move within it in order to be successful in it, for that season to work for you, for these things to work for you. Otherwise, you're just working against yourself,
Wow.
unnecessarily working
Wow.
against yourself. So that's a really good read there, and I'll probably
No,
be.
this is clearly a fabulous resource because I mean I don't think anybody thinks about the season that they're in and what they need. So for example, I am always assessing, well, being aware and conscious and thinking. I don't really necessarily put it, well, I guess, in terms of season, but I more do it with people. People come into my life and where I'm at, or I mightn't even align it with where I'm at. I'm just like, this is who I am. This is the space I'm existing in, and you don't fit in here. You don't fit in here. And somebody might be saying the same about me. And if you want to remove me out of your life, feel free to do so. I'm not going to stop you. I'm not going to be offended. You just do what you got to do. Because everybody is moving, or like you say with the flowers, evolving. So we're
Yes.
supposed to, yes. My goodness, I'm going to be checking that out. This is
Yes.
awesome.
Okay. Good. It'll whatever how you get in however you want to fit in there. And then the
Yeah.
last thing that was up there is my signature coaching program, which is the 90-day career fix. It takes on average 6 months for people to transition careers or
Wow.
transition jobs. It could take us, and that's the minimum, right? That it could
Yeah.
take. But I've known people it's taken 5 years, 10 years.
Oh
But in
my.
this program, we walk through it in 90 days. So everything that you saw on my blog, from the spiritual growth standpoint, from a personal growth standpoint, and then those career tactics we go through in that program, including 2 full weeks about your brand and
Nice.
creating your personal brand. Like you mentioned before, and right? We've done this a couple of
We've
times.
done it.
That I'm a marketing professional. I'm a marketing person, so
Yeah.
that's how I approach the career space, and that
Yeah.
it's a space that people don't tap into. It's more than
That's
just
right.
showing up to work every day, but you
Yeah.
are your own brand, and you
That's right.
need to shape that. Number one, and number two, you need to be applying and looking for jobs that make sense to you
Sense.
and your
That's right.
brand. And you have to market yourself in the right way. The job
That's
market
right.
is always shifting and changing. You need to know how to move within it. So
Yeah.
that's on there too, or you can go to the 90daycareerfix.com.
Awesome. Great way to end the show. We have gone way over time, but that's okay. I wasn't even tracking the time given that we started 33 minutes beyond check.
33 minutes.
33 minutes. Oh my God. Thank you, Davina. This has been an awesome conversation. Do you see how everything worked out so fabulously well?
Didn't it though? Didn't it though? I couldn't have said it any better.
Yeah. Better than I would have even thought, just because we were in covenant together and said, we are moving forward no matter what.
no matter what.
What?
Exactly.
Ready for change. We are ready for change, people. Thank you so much, Davina, for being on Between the Lines.
Thanks for having me.